Welcome to episode 13 of Ralph's Stuff, featuring a Native American buffalo dance shot in 1894, not by me. Snow on January 9th, 07, that was yesterday. Starship animation, installing open source Linux. Snow on February 18th, 06, driving to Orlando and 40 miles south of Jacksonville during a 2003 trip. And the film that sold my speed graphic camera. Hi, as the graphics and the title of the show might give you a clue, I'm Ralph Roberts, and we're here for episode 13 of Ralph's Stuff. Now, many people consider 13 to be an unlucky number. I don't. Many times in my career and life, 13 has been lucky, but so has 18 and 26 and 34 and 3 and 1 and so forth. So numbers really don't matter that much except as a way of keeping score. And having 13 episodes of a TV show is lucky. It means you've lasted at least 13 weeks. So we hope to continue doing this show and bringing you various entertainment as we have tonight. One of the more interesting things that we have, and it's coming up first after this introduction, is an 1894 film, actually shot in 1894 by Thomas Edison's Edison Laboratories, and we'll have a little bit more about that. It's very short. It's only 20 seconds, but it's still extremely interesting and significant. So we have been doing, and I speak we as humanity in general, have been doing moving pictures now for this is the third century of doing them. So yes, I'm very excited about being able to create video and sharing it with you here on Channel 20. I found this brief 20-second clip on the internet. It was shot in 1894, that's right, in the 19th century, by inventor Thomas Edison's company, Edison Laboratories. It's absolutely fascinating piece of history. Hello, this is Ralph Roberts, and this is January the 9th. 2007, and we're having our first real snowstorm of the year, of the new year anyway, of 2007. And it's pretty cold out here, but still I thought I'd film and give you a taste of what the snow looks like. It doesn't seem to be laying yet. Someone did tell me that we were supposed to have maybe 5 inches of accumulation. So far I don't see signs of that, but it's around freezing here. I think it's about 31 degrees, so there is a possibility that we'll get some real accumulation. And perhaps school will be let out and the kids will miss a few days. I'm certainly not going to school, I tell you that. I'm going to stay home and work. Where we are now is, of course, about 5 miles from downtown Asheville, although we are out in the county. And you can see behind me there aren't too many houses. There's a couple. Gee, it's cold out here. The camera, of course, is still inside. I'm not going to bring my good camera out into the snow, so it's in an open doorway. And I'm standing on the walkway in front of my office and taping this for you. Well, I'm starting to get some snow on my jacket. My hat, by the way, my cap is entirely appropriate to being out in a snowstorm. This is actually Swedish Army surplus. Yeah, jumping enemy, but it's true. And a friend of mine gave me a couple of these caps, and so Pat and I both have one, and they're quite nice, especially in the snowstorm here. So this has been doing well. No, not laying yet. It's still melting. Although, no, I take it back. I'm looking down at the grass. It is definitely laying. So we may actually have some real accumulation. I was supposed to make an appointment in Asheville at 1 o'clock. I may not do that. I may have to call and beg out of it, since it's adverse weather, that's for sure. So let me see what else I should say. By the way, I have some lighting on me from inside, just because I'd be backlit against the snow and wouldn't look quite as well. So this is just a little professional tip. And I'm not sure. I'm watching myself in a monitor. I should be watching the lens, so I appear to be looking out at my audience, which is you guys. So I think that's about it for the reporting on the snowstorm here. I just want to give you an idea of what it looked like. And gosh, I'm certainly getting snow on the clothes here. So it looks pretty good. Okay, so that should be it. This is Ralph Roberts reporting from out in the middle of a snowstorm in beautiful downtown Alexander, North Carolina. Thank you. Hello, we're back again. Only this is about 5 hours after I filmed the previous segment. I actually made my appointment in Asheville and drove back, although it was snowing extremely hard. It's not snowing quite as hard now, though it's cloudy back towards the west. So I think we're going to have some more snow tonight. But I thought you might like to see the difference after the snow is laid on the ground. Now, so far it hasn't been too deep of snow. It's maybe ½ an inch to an inch at the most. So just good covering on the ground. I'm going to walk out in it and let you see a little bit of it. Have to be careful. I don't want to go to the extent of actually falling down and bouncing on the ground or something. That would be a little bit too much entertainment. I'm not up to giving you quite that little water in the bottom of it, so be careful. And this is one of our maple trees. Actually, my wife Pat planted that from what we call a volunteer. It was a smaller maple tree that had grown from a seed from one of our larger trees, and once it got a little growth on it, Pat transplanted it to here. It looks real good in the spring when it's got leaves on it and stuff. So I'm walking behind the tree and up to our driveway here. Take some of the snow off my feet, and oh, this is really neat though. I love it when it snows. It's quiet and with the tree limbs covered with snow, it's looking good. Looking back down though at all the pine trees, they're covered with snow, and it looks like winter. Certainly does look like winter. What's more, it feels like winter. So I'm going to walk back toward the office building where I can go inside. And well, I was at the road. I was maybe 70 or 80 feet from my camera. But big studio camera has great glass on it, a big lens, in other words, so it can reach out and see me even from a distance like that. Now I gotta get back across the ditch. There we go. And coming back up Pat's running the camera, by the way, so she gets camera credit for this segment. And that's it. It's Ralph Roberts reporting from frigid Alexander, North Carolina. Thanks for walking along in the snow. This is a test animation I did of Starships, and it's part of my process in learning how to animate. The 3 starships you see were created from scratch by me. They're not models. I actually, of course I need more details and so forth, but again, it's a learning process. The starfield in the background, though, however, is realistic. That's actually a photograph from the Hubble Space Telescope, courtesy of NASA. And since NASA is paid for by our tax dollars, those photographs are public domain, those images, and we can use them, which I did. So I hope you enjoy my starships, and hopefully I'll have better special effects coming up soon. Thank you. Okay. We're in the process of installing Fedora core. Skip OK to check. Skip, excuse me. Choose skip to skip the media test. Okay, we'll choose skip. I think the media is okay. There we go. This may not be the world's most exciting movie, but at least we're getting something done here. Waiting. There we go. Running Anaconda. That's the installation program. Just please wait. Okay, we'll wait. Not sure if it's showing on the film, but the green light is blinking. Probing for video card. Probing for monitor type. Okay, waiting for X server to start. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, if we get a display as soon as it finishes this procedure, that will be a very good sign that the installation is actually working. Ah, good, there's the X on the screen. That shows the X server has come up, and we can proceed with the installation. It's a 2.8 gigahertz HP that we're installing on. The GeForce XF5200 video display, which is a good one. There's 2 drives in it. DVD-ROM and a DVD plus RW writer. We're installing from the DVD writer. We could be installing from either drive. It doesn't really seem to make much difference. Mouse works. That's good. I would like to see something else happening, but I have to be patient here. There we go. Bingo, Fedora. Fedora, of course, is an outshoot of Red Hat. This is where all the bleeding edge releases take place. And we're going to press next here. Next. To the next step. Okay, choosing a language. We have Estonian, Finnish, French, German, Czech, Chinese traditional, and Chinese simplified, Croatian. Okay, I'll do English. I think that's what he wants. U.S. English even. get it? I think I did. Select the appropriate keyboard, which would be US English. Okay, good. Searching for Fedora core installations. It's not going to find any. Okay, remove Linux partitions on selected drives and create default layout. It found the hard drive, 160 megabyte drive. Okay, so remove Linux partitions on selected drives and create default layout. That's what we want to do. You've chosen to remove all Linux partitions. Well, duh, yeah, we did. Okay, here we go. I hit yes. Let's see. Now we need to put in some settings. We want manual settings. IP address. To test and update, let's put in one of my IPs, 192.150, and I'll change it when I take it to Fremont's place to install. 129, I think just a minute for what's available. And I think 219 would be available. And that's 255, 255, 55. What's the rest of the net mask? Let me scoot over to one of my computers and check. Don't go away. I'm bringing up one of my servers, logging in as root, entering the password. No, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to PC system config, CD network scripts, more FCFG. That's UTH0, and the net mask is 224. So we type in 224. I'll scoot this around a bit and try to get the keyboard a little bit easier to mess with. So that's okay. Select the host name. Settings. Gateway is 12.150.129. Something. Again, I'm checking on my computer. Gateway is 193. And DNS 2.1.2.215 because that's one of the actual name server. Secondary DNS, we don't need one right now. I'll fix that one. Install it. Now the second network card present on the machine, and we're going to set that on one of my internal ones. 2, just so I can transfer things. 192, 168.1. Doesn't really matter, 81, except that should be a 0 there. And that matters, 255, 255, that's 0. Okay. Did I get everything I needed? That should do it. Okay. We'll go to next. Time zone, America, New York, Eastern Standard. That's good. Root, password. I know what it is. I'm not telling though. Retrieving installation information. Well, this one seems to be going pretty good. You might be able to hear the fireworks going off across the street. Randall's celebrating the 4th of July. This is the 4th of July. Okay, this seems to be moving along okay, and rather than film the whole thing and run my batteries down, I'm going to cut this off and then I can read this film and edit it while the machine finishes setting itself up on Fedora Core 5 Linux. This is Ralph Roberts installing Linux here in North Carolina. Thank you. Hi, Ralph Roberts here in Alexander, North Carolina on February the 17th. I believe that's correct. Nope, I'm sorry. It's February the 18th, 2006. And we're looking at a snowstorm. And we've had a rather mild winter here this year, so this is the first real, or actually I guess it would be the second real snowstorm we've had. The first so-called real snowstorm was only a couple, 3 inches at the most, and this one's predicted to be about 2 inches. So in essence, as I alluded to before, we're having a very mild winter. And I don't know whether this is probably not global warming, but rather just normal climate cyclic changes. So I wouldn't get too excited about it, but it's rather pleasant. Nice, quiet snow, not too hard, not really that cold out here. As you can tell, I'm not shivering too much, maybe a little bit, but it's pretty nice. And I'm standing on the upstairs porch of the A-Books Publishing Company office building. The warehouse is over to my right. Of course, you can't see it because I didn't want to bring the camera outside in the snow. The camera is still inside where it's warm. I'm the one outside. And the snow continues to come down. It looks pretty nice. Very nice indeed. So, that's the news. Pat and I decided to drive to Orlando. We left Asheville about 5 p.m. after closing our office and had an enjoyable drive for about half an hour through the mountains. This was not a foretaste of things to come. By the time we hit South Carolina, the skies had fallen apart. There was more rain than I've ever seen in one place before. And that place kept changing as we were driving along I-26. We hit Columbia about 9 o'clock at night, and it was more like swimming than anything else. We kept at it though until we finally gave up close to midnight down at Savannah, and we stayed there for the night. The next morning wasn't too much better. It was more of the same. What we had envisioned as a simple 10-hour drive was not to be. The day started to wet and turned downright liquid. But we pressed on and drove through Orlando to Lakeland for a brief and enjoyable visit with Pat's relatives, then back to the Hilton at Disney World where the convention was being held. 40 miles south of Jacksonville. Jacksonville, south of Jacksonville. Water sure is black. Okay, this is the Canon speed graphic. Everything works. This is the lens. Front lens, rather. We can adjust the speed. It's a 127mm lens. Another important part of the speed graphic is the focal plane shutter. One, two, that works. And of course we can focus in the back here. And the bellows goes in and out, no holes in the bellows, it looks good. Got your rangefinder mounted. It's a fine camera. It'll be a good deal for someone. So, bid early and often. Thank you. Go to ralphwroberts.com to see this show again.